Back to your channel. My name is Brad, and SuperCoach Pro. This is my fifth attempt of making a video for my preview for round zero, the side going into this year's 2024 squad. Probably the final video I do before round one officially starts next week, but tonight we have a game on our hands, and this will determine half our players and our movements around Grundy and players like that. So should be an interesting watch. We get a lot of data to have a look at some players that may not even really tinkle our eye, but they might get high enough scores, and in particular rookies, that you might just have to jump on them. So take this team with a little bit of grain of salt as well, because there could be variables by the end of round one. But this is what it's looking like so far. And I think you'll follow, a common trend between a lot of YouTubers and your own side. You'll have 90% of it worked out, and then there'll be a few curveballs. So starting off, this player hasn't really been in my side much of preseason at all, but the high ownership at 73%. Nick Dacos, you just got to have him, I think. I know he's probably got an early tag potentially, but he's too highly owned and you don't want to anti-pod him. I did that last year and it really hurt me, so I'm not going to do that again for my team's sake, and I just want to be able to sleep at night. And I think he's my VC, and I've only got really one other C option that I really trust and rely on this season. So now I'm just going to do it in between ownership so you can actually get a better reading of it. My next pick is Sheasel. Now, he just racks up the ball for me, so halfback flank, takes kick-ins. I don't really care if he moves to the midfield or forward. I still think he'll find the ball relatively easily. And, you average, 99 in your first year, surely only up. I just can't see him regressing at any point. Third for my D3 is Hayden Young. I've seen what we can do in the midfield. I don't think he's even left my side throughout the whole team picker series as well. And I just feel like he's a very solid pick. And even if he does go down back, he might be that 95 guy. But I just feel like there's a lot of room for him to, try to take D2 position at the end of the year. And then my D4. Now, you're going to hate this. I'm just going to have to do it. And I hate this pick. And you're probably like, well, why are you picking it? His scoring potential is just way too good. Injury prone as hell. I'm nervous for doing this, but I just think there's so much risk reward for it. And you never really see any teams win that didn't take risk. And you're starting with a player, you got 40 trades. Welcome to the side, yo. I even called him a trap. I'll eat those own words. So heart in the mouth stuff every time I'm going to watch him play. I don't love it, but I just got to risk it for the biscuit this year. I'm sick of playing it safe and sort of just scraping that 1,000 mark. Got to do something different. Now, D5, sort of going a little bit deeper than some people this year, and I'm going to go Williams. Be interesting to get to see him this weekend, see how he pulls up. And if he goes bad, I've got a bail out option for around the same price, about 8K more. And with that, this is where I'm struggling to find three rookies that I really like. Now, I'm hoping Caulfield is best 22, but with Daniel not playing that last Pracky match, I'm really not sure. So for now, I'm just going to go Gibcus because I know he'll be in the side. Reed, because you'd think Ridley out. Even when Ridley was in, Reed was getting the gig. Feel like he's not an on-field player you want to have, though, nor is Gibcus, to be frank. And the other guy I'm hoping gets named is Ethan Phillips. Hawthorn have no one back there, so this could be any combination of three up there. I really don't mind. I even considered Kitty Coleman this year, but just such an awkward price, and that buy early on just really sucks. Now, going into the midfield, this was a tough one too. But I just got to go with the Bont. He's the only C option, as I was talking about earlier, in defence that I feel confident captaining every week. Between him and Dacos, they're just going to be VC and C, the queen and king of the chessboard, I suppose. Not that that's how it works, because the king's pretty useless for attack. But so Bont is M1, and if you're betting against him, it's probably not going to be fun because 45% of the competition have him. So I am a bit of FOMO on some of these percentages of these players because I don't want to miss out on players that can really hurt me. And that's what stuffed me up in the years is trying to antipod some of these guys. Now, you can see a huge drop from Butters from that ankle tweak. Still going to keep him in my side for now, but he could be easily LDU. I'll probably just flip a coin and see how they both look in the next week or so before round 1 starts. So welcome to the side, Butters. He's been in my side, I'm pretty sure, throughout the whole preseason. And then I'll just go by averages so you can see this a little bit easier. Excuse me. Sarong is the next guy you pick at 621. Fife might take some CBAs from him, but I think it actually affects Brayshaw more than anyone, to be honest. And he's a bit of a pot at 9%, so I don't mind it at all. You know what? I'm not even going to do that. I'm going to change it up. We're going Parish. Parish looked good against the Cats, so scratch that. Now, where are we going for this one? M4. We're going pretty low. It's between Miller and Steele. And for me, it's Steele purely based on the bye. I want more points early on than most teams will have. And I think that will give me an advantage. And you can't manage to get every player over 600,000 throughout the year. I just got a message from Abs Magic, and I really want to read it, but I'm mid-recording. Oh, man. Okay, so that's thrown me off. Martin, M5. I'll get back to you shortly, Abs. Bonner is a weird pick, and now at Port Adelaide, he averaged about an 80 when he played a halfback flanking role. It's risky, and I feel like you just got to take risks this year. All the sides I've seen so far for team reviews have been so random, and I actually really like it. No one's got really the same sort of side or philosophy. They're all going different routes at the moment. I'll actually just do it through price. This is quite annoying. I think he's about 284K from memory, but he just looks so good. Now, I guess the only point is, will what's his name affect his role when he gets back? Sinclair, will he affect Bonner's role? And I'm not too sure, but I'm willing to take a punt on Bonner. Low percentage pod rookie can work really well, and then on the flip side, if it doesn't, there's options around it again that I've had a look at, studied some players that I don't really mind. Below that, at worst case, I'm not taking 5, so I could always sideways by round 2 to 5 if 5 pops off and doesn't get subbed early for their 6-day breaks early on. And then we're filling out the rest with pretty popular picks. So we'll just go back to percentages now. Sorry, my internet's lagging. So Colby McKercher, I'm not thrown off by his scoring over the weekend. There's only one pracky match. I don't really want an antipod a guy either. That's a pretty high draft pick. And then Sanders is a fieldable option as well. Yeah, I'm going to spend a bit of money on the bench, and I don't really hate that because I'd rather job security over anything else this season. And this is not in order because it will sort itself out. Clark has to get a role with some of the midfield outs that the Cats have this year. And then where are we going, Brad? 2 more players. Roberts, I think, is pretty good job security, playing a halfback role. And then Henry Hurstwaite. I always stuff that up. So if Steve, you're watching this and I've said it wrong again, I don't care because he's a Hawthorn player. Now, this is a bit of a change. Obviously, Gorn stays there. Grundy, I'm passing because Luke Jackson, his stocks go up now because Sean Darcy is out for 3 to 5 weeks. I think it'll be a little bit more with the injury he's got at the moment. And he's a big man. So I think the recovery is a little bit longer than you think. And then Naismith, R3. Now, I don't mind the idea of you playing Naismith as your R2, having Jackson at F1, and then having Livingston or a ruck forward to, swap him out in case Naismith gets the chop early from Nank's return. So you could play high risk, high reward because, Naismith's on points will actually be something decent. And I'm actually really considering that play anyway. So just what about, my side I'm saying is it's like 90%, just a few tweaks I'm really not sure about. And it is pretty hard to, you guys are probably the same until round one actually starts next week. You're certain on some and you're not certain on others. Now this is my number one trap along with Yo, and you guys come at me in the comments. I totally can wear that. I'll admit when I'm wrong. I think you guys know where I'm going to. This is the fish. If he has that half back role and continues to take kickouts and whatnot, you're moving him to potentially D5 by round 6, aren't you? And that's the choice I really had to weigh up. Is I want to get rid of these two spots really quickly. And that's the only way to do it is by finding DPP that you can move back, and that's the ideal situation of Martin as well. So my option here is for Fisher and Martin to be sent to the back line really early on, so Williams and Gibcus don't have to be a part of it. That is my plan by going on players that DPP movements. Now, to finish off this forward line, it's actually been pretty similar all pre-season. So sticking with Jordan, we know Adams is out for a bit and a few other players. Parker's broken an arm. I'm absolutely blanking this morning. I do Arvo shift at the moment, and my brain is everywhere. So that's a second pick. Still like Harms for me. His ownership has gone down quite a lot, and I would say it's because there's cheaper rookies there. But I love job security over cheap rookies. I don't think it's the year for guns and rookies because some of the rookies that are 123k have really bad scoring, and I'd rather pay an extra 100k to get that, extra 20 points per round. And I'm probably paying up a lot in terms of rookies, and we will have a look at that later. But I have a bail option for every rookie and just about every primo I have in my side. I do have a complete reversal of a list of players that I'm looking at. So I've studied pretty hard into this side, and I'm pretty sure I'm liking Billings as my F4. And then F5, go and Reed. I think you just have to have him. And then Sexton I've been on for a while. Actually, I was on him at 3% ownership, so called that one earlier as soon as I saw the role or heard it on Twitter. I thought, you know what? I know what Dimmer's like. He sent Rioli from forward to the back line, and look at him now. Like he's a player that's in the 500k mark most of the season from that half back role. And then, damaging because he can kick goals when he breaks the lines. So same with Sexton. I think he's a player I throw down back again. And that's my tactics this year. I don't think I'll hold on to Yo. I hope he sort of just makes enough money, and then I can flick him to a Tom Stewart that comes down sort of in price, something like that. And I think I've been thrown off by Stewart's role at the moment as well, by Holmes. Irrelevant, but now my last two picks, Darcy Wilson looked good. I think he scored about 100 in the Pracky match. He's definitely best 22, I think, in that side. And then Lazaro. Now, you're probably thinking, why are you paying 180 on the bench? It's probably just flicking between him and Reed for that spot, and then having Wilson as cover in case someone, is missing a game through suspension or whatever else. So that is the team review. That is how it's shaping up to be. I'll obviously press optimize once this is done. I'll give you my tips too. I should probably start doing tips weekly like I did. And of course, for some reason, it hasn't given you round 0. But that is the side going into it. If I optimize it, what do we have? Butters on the bench. Makes no sense, does it? It's obviously because you got the injured mark, so they automatically have him off there. So now you're looking at my primos. I suppose you got 3. Let's not call Yellow primo. I feel like that's a bit false hope. And then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 potentially, 9, 10. So I'm running really thin on primos. I do understand this. Now, the reason for my mid-price madness is we still do need cash generation. You think, oh, yeah, foot trades is heaps, but I burn out of so many trades early last year from just stupid injuries that I found out late in the year that I couldn't buy all the 600k players. I couldn't afford them. I still don't really know who that top 15 echelon is. I don't mind waiting for an LDU to, watch how he goes and buying into a pick like that. I'm still not really sold on my M2 or M3, to be honest, either. But it's just a matter of what structure works for you. I think the only players that are going to stay, to be honest, that are absolute locks is, Dacos, Sheasel Young, Bonds, Martin, Gordon Jackson, and Fisher, Jordan, Harms, and Billings. I'm only real locks. But I think that is the side going into it. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you got any criticism, feel free to have a go at me for finally picking Fisher and Yo and calling them traps and whatever. But sometimes when you just watch the roll and you watch these games, it is too hard to pass up. So, stick with us throughout the year. I'll be doing weekly previews and reviews like I have for the last 3 years in a row now. I think I've only probably missed 1 or 2 preview reviews in 160 something videos. So, look, I'm only a small YouTuber and compared to some of the other guys, so do give us a like and a sub if you are interested. If not, that's fine. You can always just have a geeze anyway. Any comments or any advice, chuck them in the comments as per usual. We'll be doing videos with Steve from SDS SuperCoach pretty much weekly as well. We'll have some segments. So good luck for your teams tonight. And just before I do forget, I will let you know who I'm tipping for the matches over the weekends. Bear with me, AFL app, because it doesn't want to tell me there for whatever reason. So I'm tipping Melbourne tonight. I'm tipping Brisbane to beat the Blues, tipping the Suns to beat the Tigers, unfortunately, hurts me to say, and I'm tipping the Magpies to beat the Giants, but I wouldn't be surprised if Giants won. So thanks again, guys. Have a good one. I'll catch you on the next. Cheers.